and my husband Neil and I have been members at McLean Presbyterian Church for 30 years. I cannot recall a time when I did not know about Jesus. I accepted Christ when I was 9 years old, but the process started long before that. I was born into a Christian home, and one of my earliest memories at age 3 is looking through the window of our second-floor apartment in Washington, D.C. My mother and her best friend and our preacher were getting into a long car. I had been told that Daddy died and went to heaven. I know now that there was profound grief around us, but our family talked about how Daddy was with Jesus, and I somehow understood even then that this was good. God watched over our family. Mom was left with very little money to raise my infant brother and me. Our extended family rallied around us, and God provided a way. He gave Mom abilities beyond her education, a good job with the federal government. She used to tell me that she really was not a single parent. She had family and church to help raise us. And we went to church all the time. Sunday school, church services on Sunday morning and evening, midweek prayer meetings, week-long revivals, and my favorite, 10-day camp meetings in the summer. Church is where the village took care of each child. By the time I accepted Christ, I had already experienced His love in my life through many people in our church and our neighborhood who showed me His love in action. Neil and I grew up in our church from the time we were preschoolers. Together we have raised 3 daughters, and we have also been blessed with sons-in-law and children. God has calmed my fears about some of the difficult passages in our family's life, including my mother's Alzheimer's. I was anxious about my mother's diagnosis, and I thought it would be a long and unhappy time for both of us. I started clinging to the truth of Philippians 4. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace that passes all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. I claimed that promise, and as I slowly became a mother to my mother over the years, she relaxed and our relationship grew sweeter. For the last several years of Mom's life, my brother and sister-in-law wanted an opportunity to care for her, so we moved Mom to Houston where she could continue to be watched over by her children. As I get older, there are times when the future looks somewhat scary to me, but then I look back at the times when I had no dad, or when our youngest daughter suffered through so many hospitalizations. Throughout all of that, God provided people and resources to keep us going. We often had joy despite the circumstances. When Neil and I were born, both our fathers were overseas in World War II. By necessity, families combined multi-generations under one roof, and close relationships were forged, which last to this day with some of our cousins. COVID-19 feels like a war. And I pray that God will give each of us courage and an ability to reach out in love to others in new ways that we might not have thought of before. Jeremiah writes, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Amen.